What is going on, everyone? Mets Talk with Hayden J here. What's going on? I hope we are all doing extremely well. I am most certainly doing well. This is probably the most happiest I have ever been on a stream in a while. Right now, if you guys are living under a rock, the CBA agreement is most likely going on, and we are going to see what is about to happen. It seems that a deal may be literally right here. I guess we'll kind of just start up with what's going on. Obviously, we all know what's going on with the CBA. And right now, it seems that a deal is almost in place. Jon Heyman just said that we are at the 2-yard line. Others are agreeing that it is promising. So I figured I'd just come on this stream and I guess kind of just talk until something huge happens. I know, let's see, hopefully something big happens. It says they were at the 2-yard line. Let's get this thing done. They are assuming that if this gets done, the mandatory spring training games will start on, I believe, March 13th. So this is going to be really interesting. Let's see if we can try and get some deal done. That would obviously be the biggest I guess, goal for today. So I figured, fingers crossed, hopefully something can get done. I figured in the meantime, I'd come on here live, kind of rant off a little bit. Who knows? Maybe I'll get one of my reactions on video. That was hopefully the biggest and best bet that we could get. So let's see. Fingers crossed. Hopefully something can happen. I'm going to be checking Twitter pretty much every couple of seconds. I'm going to constantly be refreshing. I know that tweets have been blowing up from Jon Heyman, Bob Nightingale, the GOAT, it seems, as of right now. So let's see. Hopefully we can try and get something done. Jeff Passan's Twitter is back, so that is very excellent. I am super happy to hear Jeff Passan's Twitter is back, so that's always going to be huge. But let's see. Fingers crossed something can be done today. So let's get into it in the meantime. But what's going on, Jed? What's going on, man? I appreciate you tuning in. Trey, what's going on? Trey, Jack in the Box, what's going on? Logan says, what's the news? I heard they are voting. Yes, sir, they are absolutely voting. Right now, I believe the votes are coming in right now. I believe they need, forgot how many votes it is exactly. I want to say it's like 21 out of 30 or something like that, but don't hold me to that. I believe it's something like 21 out of 30, I want to say it is. I may be wrong, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, they are voting right now. I'm trying to constantly refresh Twitter. Obviously, news comes in today, obviously, with the international draft. That was huge. The international draft is really what, I guess, had a big effect on this. Obviously, the international draft is really what both sides were kind of having, different feelings on. And it seems they got over that little hurdle, as I guess you could say, and out of a surprise, they got over that today. So good for them. And yeah, let's see. Maybe we can try and get something done. That is the goal. So yeah. What's going on? Kobe, Action Jackson, what's going on? Yeah, hopefully they get something done. I mean, it is not 100% official. Who knows? Something can always happen, but I figured, hey, they have until 3:00. That is the deadline. And I put it in quotations because let's be realistic. The last, 3 to 5 deadlines the MLB gave, they kind of caved a little bit. I mean, maybe last night, but as of right now, they're seemingly willing to go around and move a little bit more. So it seems as of right now that they are going to be caving. So yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed. Let's see if a deal can hopefully be made. So yeah, I'm going to constantly be rechecking Twitter constantly. Bob Nightingale is saying that the season would start April 7th for most teams. And right now, I'm guessing it comes into question is how would they make this up? Because April 7th, well, yesterday was supposed to be on the 16th. Now they're moving it back to the 7th. If a deal gets done today, which it's like at the 5-yard line, 95% chance. So that means most likely that they do want to play 162 games. That's true. They do want to play 162 games. So I'm assuming because if they want to play 162 games, most likely they're going to have a lot of 7-inning doubleheaders, which, well, actually, I don't know. It would either be 7 or 9. I don't know what the new CBA is going to say in terms of double headers. So that's going to be really interesting. I don't know how they're going to come across that. We'll see how that turns out for them, though. Yes, sir. No way. Let's go. Kobe says, who's the first free agent on the market to sign once the lockout ends, in your opinion? Yeah, that's a good question, man. As of right now, I mean, free agents are going to be signing left and right. Like we kind of did just state that, I believe Nightingale said most likely the season will start on April 7th. So that means spring training players will be reporting, literally tomorrow. They'll start to report to Florida and Arizona. So that's going to be huge. We're honestly going to have to see where this leads ahead. Obviously, a deal should most likely get done today, fingers crossed. But guys are going to be signing left and right. I mean, we are going to see, who would have thought that all of these news reporters had nothing to talk about for the last couple of months? Now they're going to be bombarded with a ton of free agent news, lockout news, everything. It's going to be incredible. As of right now, like I said, not a lot of guys, but a fair amount of guys did sign prior to the lockout ending. Obviously, there are a couple huge guys in the market. Carlos Correa, I guess, would be the number one guy. You obviously have Clayton Kershaw and a couple other big names out there. So it's really just going to come down to, who's going to sign first. And I know, obviously, a lot of players were a little bit cautious on signing before the lockout because they knew with the new CBA, there's new terms, new agreements, contracts could be looking different. So that's going to be the big thing, how much money a team could spend, the luxury tax, or I guess as they've been calling it as a Mets fan, the Cohen tax. So that is going to be huge coming ahead. So all we could do is just fingers crossed and hopefully something can get done. I'm going to be constantly literally just refreshing Twitter. Let's take a look-see. Let's see. Howie Rose is tweeting. I've never been this active on Twitter, which is really, really funny. But yeah, what's going on, everyone? Like I did kind of state, I know I kind of rushed into the stream, but please, everyone, smash that like button, turn on those post notifications, subscribe to the channel. Obviously, if you have any questions, Marlins, Mets, Yankees, Red, whatever related, don't hesitate. Drop it in the comments section below. We got a whole lot of stuff to talk about, obviously. So definitely do not hesitate. And, let's get into all this great stuff. Hopefully, fingers crossed, things are looking very good. I am liking what I am seeing as of right now. So that's it's really good. Trey says votes are being collected now. Yes, they are, absolutely. And I believe, like I kind of stated before, I think it's 21 out of 30. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's an adequate amount. I believe the only kind of hurl or hump or whatever you want to call it, they still had question of was a lawsuit in 2018 that the MLB filed against the A's, Rays, and one other small market team. I forgot who it was. So they kind of want that to get rid of. I mean, let's be real. Is a deal really going to be prevented because of that? Come on. This is all because of the small market teams. Nice hat. I appreciate it. Thomas, what's going on? Yeah, Thomas, exactly, man. Free agents are going to be signing left and right. It is going to be ballistic how quickly these free agents are going to be signing. It's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. So I know I'm making a lot of noise with my mouse and keyboard. I'm just trying to refresh Twitter and see if anything is going on. Recently, it seems to be a little quiet since the last 10 or so minutes. So fingers crossed they can try and get a deal done. That is the most important thing as of right now, is to get a deal done. Obviously, like they did say, April 7th would be the day that most likely opening day would start, which is a little unfortunate. Listen, I'd much rather have the 31st of baseball, but hey, as long as we get a 162 game season, I think that is adequate enough. I'm not going to get all picky and say, it's annoying. Hey, 162, like I said before, it would have been a complete embarrassment to only have 150 or 150 something. So as of right now, I think it's better than really nothing, to be honest with you. Sports fan says, since the Mets lost Aaron Loop, left-handed presence has been cut short. So can you see the Mets going after a guy like Chafin? Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, Thomas, I really do value the lefty-righty presence in the bullpen. I know a lot of people kind of value it in just the bullpen, but I actually value it in the bullpen and the rotation. The Mets lost Aaron Loop this offseason to the Angels prior to the lockout. Huge loss for the Mets. The Mets lack really any type of left-handed presence, and they need some remedy to fill that hole. When the Mets signed Loop last offseason, it was replacing Justin Wilson, who Loop was phenomenal, had an all-star caliber season. Listen, the thing with relievers is, they're very streaky. You can never trust them necessarily. Do I think Loop is going to have another historic, 0.1, whatever it was, a 0.99 ERA or whatever it was? I don't know. We'll have to see. But as of right now, the Mets are definitely going to need some left-handed help. I've always kind of said in the past, maybe Rich Hill could have been a nice move, just because I feel Rich Hill is the type of guy that, I know he signed with the Boston Red Sox, but he would have not been bad at a bullpen role. He's a left-handy. I mean, he's kind of on a cheap deal to an extent. He's really not going to get a whole lot of money. But in terms of his player performance, he's a lefty. And he could definitely pitch anywhere to 3 to 4 innings. And then following that, he'll get a little fatigued. He'll get a little tired. So that's why I think a bullpen role could be good, like a longer reliever, to be a guy who could go in the game and, pitch, the 6th, 7th, and 8th need be. So that would obviously be huge. But yeah, I agree with you. I mean, Andrew Chafin could be a fair guy. I mean, I know he's really only had like one solid season in 2020. I know it's still going to come into question is, some of these guys that people are pointing out for lefties, they're closers. And I guess what comes to question is, I guess what comes to question is, are the Mets willing to move Edwin Diaz out of that closer role? Because we saw, a lot of these guys, Craig Kimbrell, for example, when he was with the Cubs, we saw the renaissance, the old style of Kimbrell this season with the Cubs. He went to Chicago. He wasn't the closer. He went in the 7th and 8th inning, and his numbers didn't look as good. I don't know what it is. I mean, is it just the mindset of not closing out the game? Is it that you have to get 3 outs and you're done? I don't know what the mindset is, but some of these guys just can't handle that, I guess. Nate, what's going on? Yeah, man, hopefully let's get a deal done. That is all we can ask for. Let's get a deal done. Here's some news from Travis Shalik. He says, one agent reports that I haven't heard any of the players voting no. So that is very good. That is very good. It seems that, these players, they want to go out there and play, and I don't blame them. We have a little LFGM chat. Yes, sir. Timothy, what's going on? Timothy says, I hope the players unanimously vote yes to the owners. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Indeed. I don't know if it'll be unanimous, though. I mean, I'm sure there'll be 1 or 2 guys out there that are going to vote no. But like I said, I'm pretty sure it's 21 out of 30 or something like that. Yankees highlights, pray. That's all you could do, man. Thomas says, who should be the DH for the Mets? I say Cano. As of right now, like I said, the DH is definitely, a role that the Mets are going to want to have locked down to a fair extent. This is my thing with the DH. I feel there's a stigma that it has to be a power hitter, and that's not true. It could be simply a guy that gets on base, Moneyball mentality, a guy that gets on base. Get on base, score runs. That's how you win ball games, in my opinion. Yeah, pitching's important too, but Mets and run support and runners in scoring position and the offensive clutch production, it's been tough these last last year, we'll say. Maybe 2022. So that's the big thing. As of right now, I agree with Cano, but I say you don't have to have a full-time DH. I get it. The Yankees, a lot of teams usually put their injured or their veteran guy who has a little pop in their bat or is coming off the IL and they don't want to put him in the field to hurt himself, so they throw him on the DH. The Yankees do it with Stanton because they don't want to put him in the field. And honestly, I think Stanton played a solid 2 weeks out there straight in the outfield. Phenomenal. Typically you think of the DH, you think of your Nelson Cruzes, your Albert Pujoses, your Miguel Cabreras, your older veterans. Cano would classify as that, I believe. But as of right now, I wouldn't be against doing like Cano against lefty, JD Davis against righties. I think that could really work. If there's a day where McNeil or whoever honestly gets a day off, you could throw them in there. That way they don't have to take the field. If someone's coming off an injury, you could throw them there if you don't want them to take the field. So the Mets have a lot of candidates for the DH. And I guess a year ago today, I would have not been big on the DH. And honestly, I've changed so much since. Now I am a big supporter of the DH. I think a big thing was the DeGrom injury, and that's what really, really, really changed. So we are going to have to see what is going to happen. Trey says expectations for Carlos Carrasco and Tyler Mcgill. Yeah, I mean, I guess my biggest thing for Carlos Carrasco is try and get those innings pitched under his belt and figure out his first inning slumps. Last season, I mean, he would just come into these ball games, go in the first inning, and he would look horrible. I mean, his pitches weren't meaty. He wasn't connecting with McCann or Nito or whoever was catching behind the plate. He was losing command of his pitches. The barrels was abysmal with him. Overall, Carrasco had really a high fair share of complexities in the first inning, and then he'd go in the second, he'd go in the third, and he'd continue onwards, and he'd pitch fine. He'd pitch adequate enough. It's just that first inning really got to the best of him, where he'd give up. I'm not talking 2-3 runs. I'm talking like 5-6 runs. So that is really going to be something. I am hearing something from Mike Puma saying that Buzz in Arizona, if the CBA gets completed today, spring training games would start March 7th. That is good to hear. I am liking that. That is very good news. So hopefully, I don't know if we'll be on here till 3 o'clock. I just wanted to come on here and kind of just rant a little bit. I was very, very excited. Yeah. So we will see. And then, of course, Tyler Mcgill. You said Taijuan Walker. Yeah, Taijuan Walker, another solid guy, also has to get the innings pitched under his belt. That was the biggest thing with that was the biggest thing with Taijuan Walker last year, was the lack of innings pitched under his belt coming in to his time at the Mets. He was injured a lot with Toronto. He was injured a lot with Seattle. And I think that really kind of got to him a little bit. As of right now, like I said, he was dominant in the first half. I mean, his fastball was awesome. He looked like a unit on the mound. He was pounding the strike zone very well. His velocity was up there. He looked good. In the second half, he wasn't looking himself. Like I said, same thing. Command of the plate wasn't there. He was getting barreled a lot. His velocity dipped a little bit. So he struggled a little bit, and I think that was obviously because he got fatigued. The lack of innings pitched really got to the best of him. And yeah, I mean, that's really what it seems to be with those guys. Hopefully, fingers crossed, Walker can be mostly what he was throughout 2021. And hopefully, Carrasco can be a different type of guy. That's all I'm really going to hope and ask for. Nick says, is there a deal yet? There is not a deal yet. Hopefully soon. Hope it gets done. I agree, Nick. Timothy says, Alonzo for the DH. Yeah, I mean, personally, I'd be against Alonzo with the DH role, in my opinion. I wouldn't be against him taking some reps there every now and then, but he's improved a lot defensively at first, and like he stated, he would much rather play that first base position. So yeah, let's go Tigers! Absolutely. That will be a video idea actually coming soon, Kobe. So keep an eye out for that. I don't want to answer that too much yet. So let's check Twitter 1 or 2 more times. And then I unfortunately have to head out. I know I was debating, should I come on now? Should I come on later? But I said, hey, you know what? I really want to come on these streams now and, kind of just talk baseball with everyone and just see if anything happened. Let's see. Should the CBA be agreed on? We know that. Oh, great. Here's some news. John Heyman. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. So we will see. Hopefully a deal does get done. But I actually do have to go. I know this has only been like a 20 or so minute stream, but, hey, just wanted to come on here and honestly, just talk some baseball for a little bit, with what's going on with the lockout. Hopefully a deal can get done. I will be probably live either tomorrow or so. Just wanted to come on here and talk baseball. Just kind of rant, talk baseball. I'm currently checking Twitter, and I am not seeing much right now. It seems that they are still in the voting process. So like I said, we will see. I mean, it seems as of right now, I think they have gone Yeah, like I said, I think they have gone, way too far to kind of not agree. So we will see. Hopefully, fingers crossed, pray, whatever, that they can get this done today, and that we could see spring training games. That would be the biggest thing for Major League Baseball. Like I said, this would have been an absolute disaster if an issue could have not been resolved. That would have been really unfortunate. So we will see. Just give me 1 second. All right. So, yeah, nothing seems to be new on Twitter. I've been kind of checking it in and out. Refuse to believe 19 days. I think it's easy. So we will see. All right. So, yeah, we're probably going to call it a stream here, everyone. Yeah, I just wanted to, come on here for a little bit, talk some baseball. Really just hopefully I was kind of hoping the lockout would end by 2:30 because I can only stay on for like another 2 or so minutes. So, figured I'd come on here. Hopefully deal could have been done by the time I was on here, but unfortunately that's not the case. Hopefully a deal will be done within the next 30 minutes. I mean, it's 2:38 right now, so fingers crossed a deal will be done. That is all we can ask for. But like I said, I appreciate you guys tuning in. So we are going to call it a stream here. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. As always, feel free, smash that like button, turn on those post notifications, and all of that great stuff. Obviously, baseball is most likely back for the most part. It seems that spring training games will start next week, and the season should hopefully start on the 7th, per everything going okay. And yeah, we are going to have to see, but I appreciate everyone for tuning in. As always, if you're rewatching this on replay, thank you. I appreciate it. Obviously, give the stream a like, comment, subscribe, turn on those post notifications, and all of that great stuff. Till next time, baseball fans, see ya.